Hey y'all, this is Joel. This is once again Under the Color of Law. Today, I just want to talk about false arrest. So I'm just going to start off by reading what the definition is of false arrest. I had posted some videos on my page, Facebook page, and that's what happened to them two brothers. It's a classic case of false arrest, not racial profiling. Stop screaming that bull crap. False arrest is what happened. Okay. I hate when y'all scream racial profiling. We're so ignorant. That's our problem as a people. That is not what it's called when you're dealing with them. Does racial profiling exist? Yes, it does. Is that what happens a lot of times? Yes, it is. However, that doesn't really hold up that well in litigation. Not saying it can't, but it's hard pressed. Because it's not the correct legal terminology when you're filing a complaint. False arrest is what happened on the civil side. Now the criminal side is the false imprisonment. That's different. You can either sue them for false arrest, like that brother could have, and or charge them with false imprisonment, the unlawful detain. Well, I'm gonna read the definitions. I'm not gonna freestyle it, but my allergies are bugging me, so excuse me, y'all. But I'm gonna go to false arrest first. Once again, I'm in my Black Law Dictionary. They're very cheap. Y'all should get one. First of all, arrest. I'm gonna say what arrest is. Arrest is an arrest by definition. It's a seizure or forcible restraint. Okay, that's just plain and simple. That's what arrest is. A false arrest. Now, this is where it gets deep. My old head used to always tell me, man, there's different, the depth of the law, there's different levels to it. It gets deep, and you have to be, a half behind whiz to understand it, or just persistent. Be smarter than that. Read between the lines, But false arrest, and I quote what the book says: an arrest made without the proper legal authority. What is a false arrest? An arrest made without the proper legal authority. Well, Joe, what is the proper legal authority? Here it is. Let's go back to the back of the book where the amendments are. Remember, a false arrest is an arrest made without the proper legal authority. Let's go back to the book. In the back of every Black Law Dictionary, there are the amendments of the United States Constitution, or it's the Constitution, period. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. The Fourth Amendment is dealing with searches and seizures. Fourth Amendment says, once again, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects. Persons first, which would deal with arrest. Persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. It's described in particular. Well, Joe, what is a particular? A particular is a fact, or a thing that is set something aside from the rest of society, or a person aside from the rest of society, as my old head would tell me, so you might have two people that's wearing all black, but only one of them walk with a limp. Everybody walk with a limp. Everybody ain't got, a patch on their eye, something like that, or a scar on the left side. That has to be told in the affidavit of probable cause. That has to be explained in detail. It's right there. Particular. I wish I had I'm mad because I don't have my other dictionary. My Webster's dictionary. I need to get my other dictionary. But particular, it might be in here, is the key to them finding legal probable cause and arrest without the proper legal authority. And the only way for them to get the proper legal authorities is if, one, it meets the probable cause standard according to the Fourth Amendment, and two, the judge says it meets that standard. He's the only one that can find that standard. He will give them the authority to seize that person out of society into the criminal proceedings. Because now that person is operating outside of the law. That's the way it works. Simple. So anytime they arrest you or stop you while you're moving throughout or traveling throughout your day or throughout the planet or throughout the streets, anytime they do that and you have the compulsion to stop, then they're out of pocket then. You cannot do so without a warrant. Never, ever, ever is it allowed. Does it happen? Unfortunately, yes. But they need the proper legal authority. All you have to do is quote the Fourth Amendment. There is no reason why we should not always walk around. You got to take this dictionary and copy it. Copy the Fourth Amendment out. That's what I would do. That's what I was doing. Like, I had it ripped out. I got to go and get me another copy. But you take the dictionary, you go to the library, you make your copies of the Constitution, fold that stuff up, put it in your pocket. So when they do pull you over, you slap that MF on the dashboard. That's it. Slap that, bang. And let them know at that moment you're exercising your Fourth Amendment rights to be securing your persons, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. You don't have to show ID. Because of the law, not because I just don't want to, but the law is letting you know you don't have to do that. They need a warrant. That's why they ask you, do you have an ID? Or they would just take it. Can I see your ID? No, you cannot. Right now, I am demonstrating my rights, my Fourth Amendment right to be secure in my person's papers and effects. A crime has not been committed. You cannot see my identification. You do not have to show it. They need a warrant to seize that, unless you give it to them. They give it to them, that's something different. That's on you. Now, they're allowed to approach you like anybody else approaches in society, but they are not allowed to hold you up because it is against the law. It is called a seizure, and because of the uniform, you a lot of times people feel compelled, and what happens is the Supreme Court does not allow that. A classic case of false arrest is the Heckett Humphreys case. Now, it dealt with malicious prosecution. That was the case, but they had broke down the difference between the two. The arrest and the conviction are two different parts of the criminal proceedings. They are not the same. The DA did not arrest you, the officer did. So if you are in court, do not challenge the DA. A lot of times, the first block to building the case is not sturdy, which is the arrest. Stick with the arrest. Don't try to take you to the conviction. Don't try to take you all around the world. Don't try to, get you to talk about the evidence, whatever. Because we ain't talking about no evidence. I don't give a dang if you got caught with a kilo of coke. Never admit it. Never. What coke? His information wasn't correct to meet the probable cause standard before he made that seizure, which is the reason why he could not get a warrant. He could not get a warrant. He would not get a warrant because he could not get a warrant. Finding probable cause for the officers, I'm just going to straight up say, is very, very difficult. It is hard. Their job is hard as hell to meet probable cause because, especially if they're lazy, and that's why they just do random stuff, because they know most of society doesn't know the law. A false arrest is an arrest without the proper legal authority. Look at my page. When you see them arrest them brothers, my Facebook page, when you see them arrest them brothers, they had no warrants in hand. That's all that brother had to say. You have to let them know. Being as though I have told you I am exercising my rights at this moment, you are knowingly, I'm telling you, you're falsely arresting me. Yeah, you are knowingly doing so. Being as though you are knowingly doing so, you are no longer immune. They try to get immunity and stuff. You're no longer immune because you knew what you were doing. I had told you what you were doing and you still did it. You're not immune no more. You know? I want to get in further detail, but I have to give it piece by piece because it's very difficult. So we'll just stick with this for tonight. A false arrest is an arrest without the proper legal authority. The proper legal authority is whenever they go through the proper channels that they need to go through in order to secure a warrant from a neutral and or detached magistrate. That they give them the legal authority to make an arrest. If they did not get that, then the arrest is false. It does not stand under the law. Under the color law, don't stand. That's why. That's what happened. Stop screaming racial profiling. That is like, I'm not saying there's not cases on it, but y'all got to stop screaming that stuff. You are racial profiling. Stop getting angry and get educated. Like, what? Racial profiling? Them words are not going to come out of my mouth. At first, when I didn't load and I was ignorant, then I was like, you catch them off guard every time. If you read. I advise y'all to take them stimulus checks and go and you better grab one of these. Grab one of these, copy that Constitution in the back of this book and put that in your pocket. Put that in your pocket. That's what I advise. If you don't know, I know it by heart. Years I studied it upstate. Yeah, I mean, I know it. Put that in your pocket, man. You know, the next thing we'll talk about, I don't want to hold you up too long because this information is very difficult. We'll probably talk about dragnet seizures, you know. I might dabble in the Heck and Humphrey a little bit. But dragnet seizures, I think, is the next thing. Footer versus Bostic is the case. This is what they did over here on the McKeesport Bridge. Or if they go into a bar and try to seize everybody, that is not allowed. It's called a dragnet seizure. Like, what they call it dragnet because it's like throwing a net out into the sea, that's a dragnet. A net out into the sea and grabbing a bunch of fish. That's what they call a dragnet. That's what they did when they stopped everybody on the bridge. That's Hitler and Stalin stuff. That will not ever fly. If the Supreme Court finds out about what McKeesport police did, they are done. The United States, they are done. That will never fly. You seize the whole city. That is, whoa. They got some balls. That's where the ACLU, that was too deep. That was too much. You seize the whole city because out of emotion. That can never fly. This is not Germany. This is not Berlin. Heck is wrong with y'all? Seizing the whole city? You crazy? Are you with the that right there, that act right there, that's what you call treason. That's treason against the flag. You know the rights. Anytime they go out of the way to break the law, especially like that, even in a false arrest, I gotta I'm gonna find the case. I wish I had it here. I gotta go through my stuff. I got so much of it. But Justice Douglas, he said that even that can be considered as treason. You were knowingly going against established law of your country. You traitors. Learn how to read, y'all. I love y'all. Get educated.